what I would like you to do is to focus on your continuous development. So what I have here is I've created a simple diagram. So when things really boil down to these things, three things: health and fitness, relationships and career. I've listened to so many people, so many gurus, personal development people from all over the different continents, and literally it boils down to these three things: health and fitness, career, relationships. But what you need to do is draw a circle in the middle, continuous professional P development, call it continuous P development, and then in your health and fitness, right, that's your continuous personal development. Then in your relationships is continuous private and public relationship development. Then in your career is your continuous professional development. For each one of these, you must know how you're going to grow with time. And another secret I want to share with you is that we talked about 4 dimensions, and I'll come on to this actually in more detail when we talk about journaling. Defining your spiritual routines and your physical routines is one of the biggest secrets. I'll elaborate on this when we're doing journaling. The other thing I want to share at this point is I want you to take a leap into, and this is for those that really want to go far into analysis of time and want to take the science. The people that I strongly recommend you look into is people such as Martin Armstrong, the late Larry Ellison. These are people that I've studied. And other things that you can look at is something like the Elliott wave, which is very interesting, and the K wave. K wave was by I think Kronkov, who basically was assassinated. He's basically a Russian who predicted the decline of the Russian Empire, and because of his forecast, he was assassinated, but it was accurate. So history and time have this knack of not necessarily repeating but rhyming, and a brilliant example of that is Martin Armstrong. So he's got a documentary called The Forecaster. So what's happened with him was he predicted the 9/11, and with him it was a case of he realized that history repeats itself by the number pi, so 3.14, etc., etc. And what they did was they actually put him in jail, they put him in prison, because what they said was he had an emailing list of 20,000 people, so he would make a prediction or he would say something, and 20,000 people would follow that information, and that would cause the stock markets to, it would affect the stock markets to rise or decline. And based on that, so what they did was they put him in prison. And the funny thing was, whilst being in prison, the patterns which he predicted through his logarithm, which I think is called Socrates, so they would still manifest, so they would still play out, and he was released. And so Martin Armstrong, his work on waves and frequencies and the stock markets and history repeating is rhyming, and events correlating. It's fascinating stuff. So this is something I strongly recommend for those of you that are more cerebral or left hemisphere orientated, that want more scientific, that want to go into the scientific depths of time. This is something I thought I'd share with you guys as an extra bonus. So, and Larry Ellison, he did some brilliant work too, but he was a student of Martin.